Harry's Wife, part 97.36. Doomed within 5 years. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, continuing to enable you to understand more about the world of Harry's Wife and thus expanding your knowledge about narcissism. We turn to a strange little article from Geo News written by, yet again, Web Desk, that unusually named contributor. The headline reads, Harry's Wife, Prince Harry, love days are numbered, ? There is, of course, much speculation about the relationship between Prince Harry and his wife, whether the Prince of Pink Pancakes will continue to have the cattle prod of control applied to his gonads to cause him to behave and to nullify any threats to control that he may pose. There are those, of course, that maintain that she sees him as a major meal ticket, and as she reaches advancing years, that nobody else would be interested in the unusually shaped narcissist. There are others who form the view that she will kick him to the curb once he serves his purposes, and that she will be on the hunt for somebody else, preferably somebody even wealthier than Harry, driven, of course, by the view that she is a gold digger. She is not a gold digger. Money is a residual benefit, and is part of the things that the narcissist seeks. As I've explained by reference to Amber Heard, money is an important factor to the narcissist because not only is it a residual benefit of itself, it also segues into the ability to control other people and to draw fuel from them, either through financial largesse, generosity, bribery, and withdrawing financial support and failing to provide it when it ought to be provided. A failure to repay monies is another method of asserting control and drawing fuel. There are many that would like Prince Harry to divorce Harry's wife in order to facilitate his escape and to move him away from the grip of the narcissist. Naturally, many people express their views as to where the relationship will end up, whether Harry perhaps will have a breakdown, whether he will remain ensnared until his dying days, or whether he will be disengaged from. Supposed royal experts, people on social media, broadcasters have all offered their opinions as to where they see the relationship will go. Of course, there are those that don't see the relationship for what it is, believing that these are two people who are desperately and happily and madly in love, that they don't see that it is an abusive relationship between narcissist and victim, and believe that the couple should be left alone to live their best lives, that odious and meaningless phrase. Yet, what is this that I see coming over the hill that is telling us that their love days are numbered, whatever those are? It appears that there is some further insight. But where does this come from? Is it somebody, perhaps, who has intimate knowledge of the gruesome twosome, perhaps somebody who has been operating in their household and has witnessed their day-to-day interactions to be able to form a coherent view? Perhaps it's somebody who understands the narcissistic dynamic and is fully able to explain precisely where it's going to end up. Well, let's find out. The article tells us that Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, and his wife, Harry's wife, love days are numbered. A psychic has predicted following their recent visit to Britain. All has become clear. It is the musings of a psychic that tell us that their days are numbered. How so? Well, psychic Georgina Walker predicted Harry's wife and Harry's breakup while appearing on a night show recently. Georgina said, "I always said when Harry's wife and Harry married, I gave them 5 years." She further said, "And when I looked at the energy between them, she was doing a lot of acting, but he was as pale as a ghost. I tend to think he has really realised what he's given up." Now, I'm not entirely sure what she means when she talks about a lot of acting, whether she's referring to her career or whether she's identified unwittingly the acting nature of Harry's wife by virtue of her narcissism. If so, good spot, Georgina. We're referring to him being pale as a ghost. That might be because he's been kept in the chicken coop for so long that his vitamin D levels have plummeted, and being a bit of a ginge, a swarthy complexion is something that's pretty alien to him. Does he realise what he's given up? I think at various moments he does realise that he's given up certain things. The good links with his family, friends, and all of those things that he enjoyed about Blighty. Nevertheless, of course, and those moments of reflection of what he's given up have to be cast to one side to keep her ladyship content and bananatarianed up. The article continues, whereby the psychic went on to say, "I think it's now going to be a real issue between the two of them. The rift is coming, you'll see it." The article, short as they always are from Geo News, concludes with, "Harry's wife and Harry tied the something," I think they mean not, "on May 19th, 2018, and share 2 children, son Archie and daughter Lilibet." Well, psychics, not something that one would ordinarily rely on, albeit, of course, talking about that there's going to be a rift, there already is. There already is, because as I've explained on many occasions previously, Harry is already in a sustained devaluation. The dynamic between narcissist and intimate partner primary source victim, spouse, partner, cohab, is one whereby there is a golden period of somewhere between 6 months to 18 months, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, but in general terms, 6 to 18 months. Let us assume that it was 18 months and that they married in May 2018. This means that the golden period started to end somewhere around in the region of early 2020. If you extend it just beyond, let us say, the 18-month period, we would get on the cusp of 2019 into 2020, which of course came about when the move occurred as they stepped down from being senior royals. So his sustained devaluation on an 18-month basis would have kicked in somewhere around about the November 2019, December 2019, maybe stretching into the early 2020s. It's clear that it's been happening. We've seen it with regard to the video analyses that I've undertaken previously, the things that have been said, the actions and behaviours that we've witnessed. And of course there'll be all the stuff that goes on behind closed doors. Whilst we, of course, haven't witnessed it, I can tell you, as a narcissist myself, and all of the various people that I've consulted with and explained the circumstances of, and as they've explained what they've dealt with, that, of course, with a mid-range narcissist such as Harry's wife, there is a facade that's shown to the outside world, although there are occasions where we see through it. And then, of course, for Harry, there'll be the devaluing behaviours behind closed doors, being shouted at, being triangulated in a malign fashion, being denied some of the spicy poontang, being insulted, made to stand outside of the window and juggle his balls, not being involved in decision-making, pity plays doled out to him, made to feel guilty, being provoked, given the silent treatment, and a whole host more. He will have experienced all of that. And so the rift that the psychic talks about has already occurred. Of course, Harry doesn't see it for what it actually is, for reasons that I've explained previously. Do they have 5 years? Well, in actual fact, their days are numbered as a consequence of the fact that disengagement will occur, as I have explained in a previous video. What all of this comes down to is that you don't need a psychic to tell you what's going to happen in the relationship between a narcissist and their victim. You need my work. Where it is the dynamic between narcissist and intimate partner primary source, golden period, sustained devaluation, and then one of 3 outcomes. Either escape by the victim, the rarest outcome, disengagement by the narcissist, the most likely outcome, or neither of those 2 things happen, and the roller coaster continues until one of the parties dies. That is the outcome. And as I've explained elsewhere, disengagement awaits on the horizon for Harry. It won't happen tomorrow, it won't happen next year, but it will happen in the foreseeable future, as I have detailed in my previous videos. You don't need to rely upon supposed royal experts. You don't need to rely upon psychics to tell you what's going to happen. You need to recognise, what are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a narcissist? And if you are, Then you apply my work to understand the nature of the dynamic between you and that narcissist, whether you're the intimate partner primary source, an intimate partner secondary source, so a friend with benefits, a mistress, the man on the side, a booty call, whether you're the dirty little secret, whether you're the candidate intimate partner secondary source, whether you're a non-intimate secondary source as a family member, a friend, or a colleague. In each of these instances, I set out for you what the dynamic is so that you don't have to be crossing anybody's palm with silver. You don't have to be listening to the hocus pocus. You need the evidence and the logic that I, as the unrivaled provider of information about narcissism, gives to you. Once again, Harry's wife being spoken about in terms of the length of the relationship she'll have with Prince Harry gives me an opportunity to explain more of the narcissistic dynamic to you. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.